Welcome back. Tonight we're going to work on the 5-pointed star kit. The pieces are 12 gauge steel, and I've acid washed them and got a little bit of flash rust on them. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take just this flap disc, clean them up. Hopefully after we're done we end up with a nice 5-pointed star like this. So we'll go ahead and clean these up, clean them up real nice so we have a good welding surface, and I'll show you how I fit these up and weld them. Doesn't take that long to get them all nice and shiny and cleaned up. I like to concentrate on this edge, the outward side, and then just a little bit on the inside. So we'll get the rest of these cleaned up and then we can tack them. Okay, we got them all cleaned up, and next we have to fit them up to get ready for welding. The way I like to do it, I like to get one piece set up nice and flat and see if this piece here fits to it pretty well. And I'll just get a couple small tacks on these, and just to see if we need to bend them back and forth. I do have a little angle. That's not the correct angle of these, but holds it up in position while I get it tacked. You could weld these with any process you want. I'm going to use TIG tonight because I have access to a TIG machine and I'd like to do it. MIG works fine. If you have a stick machine, if you would use either 3/32 or 16th inch electrodes, you should be able to weld with no problem. Another thing you have to watch is down here at the tip. It's really easy to melt those off. As you can see here, that one there got a little bit melted. So just something you have to watch out for. So I'll move you over. We'll get these all tacked up and fitted up, and we'll get them welded. Now I think what's key on the TIG welding of these is to make sure you have some decent electrodes. I've been dipping these, and I'm really not a very good TIG welder. I just like to do it and always need to practice. So what I'm going to do, I have these two, and I have one over here that it's already sharpened. And I'm going to go ahead and sharpen these up so I have three, so that as soon as I dip one I can pull it out and put a fresh one in. So that's key to getting a really nice tack, and weld for that matter. Here's the two TIG rods after I've got them nice and sharp. I don't use any kind of fancy TIG grinder. All I do is use put these in a drill and put them up against my belt sander, and it seems to take all the crap off of them and makes them a real nice sharp point for welding steel. Okay, ready to get them fit up. Now my big fat head will probably be in the way because I'm not a super pro at getting these videos made up. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to tack them with no filler wire. What I've done is I've turned my machine up to 120 amps, and this material is just a little bit under 120 thousandths. So I'm going to give it full pedal and try to get the edges melted together and get them fit up like that. If I have to use a little bit of rod, that's okay. I'm going to just use the 045-309 stainless rod, just so I have a nice little small tack. So that's the plan, and we'll see how it goes. Little tip that I use, that since I'm not super proficient at feeding the wire, rather than having a long 3-foot piece stuck out here and likely to poke you in the eye, I just cut it in half. A little bit more manageable. You get a little bit more waste, but I think it's much better than poking yourself in the eye or having a big piece of TIG rod. Got a nice point here. Now we'll see about getting these fit up. And these initial fit ups are just kind of a guess as to what they're going to be, as to the angle. And as you put more of the star tines around, you're able to figure out what the angle is. I think on my finished stars the angle is about 110 degrees. So what you could do if you'd like is make a cutout 110 degrees, and you could put across here and see how close you are. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and grab my little protractor and we'll see how close we are to 110. That's my cheap little angle finder. Oh, that's way too much. So we can spread him out a little bit and we'll see what happens here with this. If I can't get it fusion tacked, I'll have to use a little bit of rod. That worked. And another one. You got to have a real tight fit up for it to work well. And I'm just floorboarding my pedal. I'll get one more in here. So there, that's what those tacks look like. And it looks like they penetrated through the back. So that's one. So let's see what we get if we... And sometimes I say on the wrong edge. I might have to do a little bit more work on some of these. I don't know, that looks kind of close. I'm going to try that, see what happens. Probably would be easier if I was using a MIG. All I have to do is set the gun there and hit it. Or stick might even be easier. Once again, to get these tacks, I'm just floorboarding it all the way, and that's pretty nice. We'll get the rest of these tacked together, and then it looks like it could become a little bit, and it's pretty tight. We might break a couple of these tacks once we... Yeah, that's a little bit high. But once we get all the star tines put together, we'll be able to see exactly what we got. Alright. Okay, we got all the star pieces tacked together. And now we got to get them to fit together so that we make a nice tight star. As you can see, that's not quite there yet. You have to bend the tines up and down to see which one matches the others. And it's a little bit of give and take. So we'll work on this for a little bit. If it gets too long, I'll go ahead and speed everything up, and so at least you can see what the process is. But that's what it's about, you know, fitting and tacking, and the welding's just half the fun. You can see that's not going to fit at all. So looks like we have to bend these up just a little bit more because this is a little bit tight here. So let's go ahead and bend these up just a little bit more. There. Okay, now we can do some tacking. I've made up these aluminum cubes. Needed to practice, plus they're good to rest your hand on when you're welding. So what I found helps me, especially because I'm an old son of a bitch, is I use these magnifying glasses so I can actually see what I'm doing. A couple years ago I was welding and thought, well, hell, I can't see the puddle, and now I can see much better and hopefully put a little bit better weld on. So I'm just going to get a couple tacks on here, and then we'll see what we can do from there. Now, as you can see, the tips of these all melted away, and I got a hole there, and so just have to fill that hole up. It's nothing, no big deal. Happens. Now, the parts that are in good alignment, like here, here, and here, we'll go ahead and weld. I think I might weld from the front side, and then these other ones we can get those put into place. And on these inside corners like this, metal's really thin, so you have to really watch that you don't burn through. It'd be especially important with the stick machine. If I was doing the MIG process or flux core, I'd probably do a downhill weld here. I think it would come out better, look better, and not have as much tendency to burn through. This right here is not really fit up exactly the way I like it. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a clamp and I'm going to clamp that up. And we'll see if one of these pony clamps will work, bar clamps. If not, I've got another clamp I could possibly use. Oh, no wonder. Got the wrong damn glasses. Couldn't see. Put these glasses on here and then you'll be able to see a little bit better. Ah, well, it's like magic. So there's our basic star. It's all fit up, nice and flat on the table, and didn't take long at all. I don't think we have 20 minutes into it already. A lot of it's about the preparation. Make sure that it's nice clean metal. Get an approximate angle that you need to put your star tines, and then take your time putting them together, and it seems to work out pretty nice. So what I'm going to try to do now, I'm going to put the welding filter onto the camera and see if we can't see any kind of welding action. Not that I can do TIG welding, or not that I'm going to teach you anything, but just in case you want to see what's actually going on. So stand by and I'll get that filter put on. Okay, it zoomed in. I don't know whether it's going to work or not. Got the welding shade on, and but we'll give it a try. Got my machine set on 120 amps. I'm going to use, I'm going to try just some 045 wire, just to see if I can make a nice small bead. Like I say, I'm no TIG welder, but that's how you get better, is if you practice. So I practice all the time I get. Now we'll see if we can get any arc shots. I tried to move my head out of there a little bit. Don't know whether it succeeded or not. The reason I'm leaving the tip right there until the gas runs out, so you get a little bit of gas shielding, so you don't you can keep the color a little bit better. I was going a little slow coming through here because I have a little bit of a gap that I was trying to fill. Okay, we got all the centers welded up. Now it's just the tine tops, and that'll be outside corner welds, so we'll get a couple of those welded up and see how they look, and then we'll take a look at the star and be all see if we're happy with it, and go from there. I'm going to use some air to cool it down, just for fun. I'm going to try to use this small stainless rod to make a nice small bead profile. We'll see how that works out. It's kind of warm. You can see I hung out too long on that tip and burned the stainless. I always like to have my arm resting on something, when I was resting on that star, and it got awful hot. Probably just going to go in little bursts up here so I don't overheat the stainless so much, and see if we can't get a nicer color. There's that tack. It's probably a little bit too deep. Sometimes I like to leave these stars with the welds on them. Other times, if it looks kind of ugly, kind of like this one, I'll grind it down and make it look a little bit better. You want to make sure you get a good fit up. Right here it wasn't fit up real precise. I was getting some keyholing, and it was hard to keep ahead of it. Mid-process it wouldn't be as bad. Right here it didn't look too bad. I was able to move right along with that. Stainless got a little hot, but it just takes practice. Looking back on this, tacking these, I would have possibly used a little piece of rod rather than just going max out on the pedal. did leave a little bit of a divot there, and so it's not as fine as I would probably like it. In TIG, you always want to be comfortable, or in any welding process. I always like to have something to prop on and make sure I can be comfortable. I definitely like the thinner rod better. I'm going to go ahead and weld the rest of these tines out, then we'll take a look at it after it's done. That's it. Star's all welded up. I can't say I'm super proud of the tips. You can see here, zoom in a little bit. Get a little bit rounded off. I got the top hole filled in. I'll move over there and show you that. There's the top filled in. Just went around and then dabbed a little bit of filler metal and just kept going around in a circle. That's the 3D welded star. If you'd like to build a couple of these, fill them up and do a little bit of welding with a purpose, sell these on eBay. I'll put a link to the description. I don't have a lot of them up for sale. It's just some of the scrap that I have available that I cut out that I don't have a use for. I cut them out, acid wash them, blow dry them, but I don't oil them so they're ready for welding. You just have to do a little bit of grinding on them because they do have a little bit of surface flash rust on them, but as you can see they clean up pretty nice. For this one, since the tines aren't really attractive, I'd probably just grind this and make it smooth, and you can clear coat it, paint it, use it however, but it's a real nice little decoration, and I've seen them for sale at the welding store anywhere from this size, I think is about $50, all the way to $128 for a bigger one. Anyway, appreciate you watching. Catch you next time.